What's going on, Bills Mafia? Welcome back to the channel. Before we dive in, let me remind you of one thing. This team is working every single day to get better, to fix what's broken, to sharpen what's already strong, and to bring home the results this fan base deserves. And we're here to talk about one of the biggest stories swirling around Buffalo right now, a potential blockbuster defensive signing and a familiar face who might bring the spark back to this wide receiver room. But first, smash that like button, subscribe if you love Buffalo football, and drop a comment letting me know what you think about this possible roster shakeup. All right, Mafia, let's get into it. The Buffalo Bills injury list this season looks like a novel, and not a good one. The defensive line has been hit especially hard. 3 players, Dwayne Carter, Ed Oliver, and TJ Sanders, have all landed on injured reserve. Sanders is close to returning, but Ed Oliver won't be back until the playoffs, if the Bills get that far. Carter, done for the season. And the results have shown up in the most painful way possible. Buffalo is ranked 30th against the run through 9 games. 30. For a team built to dominate the trenches, that's unacceptable. And that's why analysts around the league believe the Bills may need to think outside the box. Way outside. Fansided's Mark Powell threw out a massive suggestion this week that the Bills should consider signing Christian Wilkins, the former Dolphins star defensive tackle who signed a $110 million deal with the Las Vegas Raiders just 1 year ago. But let's be honest, that deal went downhill fast. Wilkins played only 5 games with Vegas before a foot injury derailed his season. Then came the offseason drama. The Raiders were reportedly unhappy with how he approached his rehab, and then came a bizarre locker room incident involving another player that didn't sit well with the team. The Raiders cut him loose. Just like that. So here we are, a former top-tier defender, 29 years old, a guy who terrorized AFC East offensive lines for years, now sitting on the free agent market in November. The question is, should the Bills take the gamble? Let's look at the reality. Christian Wilkins, at his best, is a game-changing defensive lineman. He's strong, explosive, a nightmare to block one-on-one, and he would immediately elevate Buffalo's run defense. Add him next to Ed Oliver when Oliver returns, that's a Super Bowl-level interior duo. But it's not that simple. We have 2 major concerns. 1, is he healthy? 2, will he bring locker room issues? Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane value one thing above everything else: culture. This locker room works because guys check their egos at the door. They've survived injuries, roster changes, heartbreaking playoff losses, all because the room stays united. If Wilkins threatens that unity, even a little, Beane won't touch him. But what if he can be signed cheap? What if the Bills put strict conditions in place? What if he's motivated to rebuild his reputation? Suddenly, this becomes a low-risk, high-reward move. And when you're ranked 30th against the run, and the AFC East is still within reach, sometimes you take that swing. Now, let's shift to the offense because Bills Mafia, there's another storyline that could have a huge impact on Sunday's game. After nearly an entire year away from NFL action, Gabe Davis looks ready to return. Yes, that Gabe Davis. Wide receiver Gabe Davis, the same guy who once put up 4 touchdowns in a playoff game. He practiced Thursday and spoke to the media afterward, and let me tell you right now, he sounded confident. "I feel good," Davis told reporters. "The leg feels good. I felt like I did really well in practice today." Davis has been taking reps not only with the scout team, but also with Josh Allen and the first-team offense. And he says he's had 0 issues with his knee, which ended his 2024 season early. "No rust," Davis said. "It's all the same, man. With a quarterback like that, it's pretty easy to adjust." That's exactly what Bills fans want to hear. Let's be blunt, the Buffalo passing game has struggled. Josh Allen has had moments of brilliance, but the consistency hasn't been there. No Bills wide receiver has been able to take pressure off Keon Coleman or Dalton Kincaid, and every week, Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane have made it clear, this offense needs help. That's why Davis being ready, truly ready, could not come at a better time. He's currently on the practice squad, but the Bills have one open roster spot and 3 possible elevations to use. If there was ever a week to make that move, it's Week 11 versus Tampa Bay. In his last full season in Buffalo, Davis put up 45 catches, 746 yards, 7 touchdowns. He was a deep threat, a red zone weapon, and someone who had real chemistry with Josh Allen. If he shows even 75% of that form, this offense instantly becomes more dangerous. So Bills Mafia, let's break down where things stand. The defense needs help, badly. Christian Wilkins could be the missing piece if the Bills decide the reward outweighs the risk. The offense needs a spark, and Gabe Davis might be exactly the kind of familiar, reliable playmaker Josh Allen needs right now. The Bills are entering the stretch run of the season. Every game matters. Every roster move matters even more. One signing, one return, one spark in the locker room. Sometimes that's all it takes to change the trajectory of a season. And this season, it's far from over. For the first time in nearly a decade, national insiders are openly discussing something that would have been unthinkable a couple of years ago. Sean McDermott's job may no longer be safe. This week, after that brutal and frankly embarrassing blowout loss to the Miami Dolphins, a game that left the locker room frustrated and the fan base stunned, several major analysts and insiders began openly questioning whether the Bills might consider moving on from the head coach who once resurrected the franchise. This isn't coming from random Twitter accounts. This is coming from major national voices. Colin Cowherd called out McDermott on air, and now CBS Sports has placed McDermott on their list of the top 5 NFL coaches most likely to lose their jobs in the second half of the season. That's right, our guy is sitting at number 4, behind Raheem Morris, Kevin Stefanski, and Pete Carroll, but ahead of Matt LaFleur and somehow ahead of Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel. Bills Mafia, this is officially a national storyline. The Bills began the season 4-0, looking like a complete powerhouse. Josh Allen was rolling. The defense looked sharp. The offense had rhythm, and fans finally felt like this might be the year to break through. But since then, a 2-3 skid, a blowout to a division rival, and suddenly the Bills are not only no longer Super Bowl contenders, they might not even be in a strong position to win the AFC East. And that's where the conversation shifts to leadership. For 9 years, McDermott has been praised for structure, culture, and consistency. Under him, Buffalo has made 7 playoff appearances and has a 92-48 regular season record. Those numbers are fantastic by any standard. But here's the uncomfortable truth that national media keeps hammering. The Bills haven't gotten over the hump. They haven't reached a Super Bowl. They've repeatedly fallen short when it matters most. And some of those failures, from defensive collapses to time management disasters, are placed directly on McDermott's shoulders. CBS didn't hold back. In their analysis, they say, McDermott's resume suggests he's entrenched in the job for as long as he chooses. But with a perennial MVP candidate in Josh Allen, the Bills have continually failed to get over the hump on the biggest stages. They also pointed out that McDermott's defenses, which are his specialty, have been hit or miss in crucial moments. And offensively, Joe Brady isn't elevating the unit the way many expected. That's where the biggest warning sign appears in CBS's report. Another playoff dud could be the final straw. Bills Mafia, that means the seat is at least warm, maybe even hot. Another wrinkle in this story, Sean McDermott has been answering questions all week about whether the Bills would consider bringing back former offensive coordinator Brian Daboll, who is currently unemployed and widely viewed as a brilliant offensive mind who helped mold Josh Allen into the superstar he is today. While McDermott publicly supported Joe Brady, something he had to do, he did not shut down the Daboll possibility. He did not deny conversations. He did not dismiss the idea. This is extremely rare. McDermott never gives the media oxygen. The fact that he let this possibility linger tells you everything you need to know. There is organizational pressure. There is frustration. There is uncertainty. And yes, the seat is warming. Here's the piece nobody wants to say out loud, but insiders know it's true. When you have a quarterback like Josh Allen, you don't get unlimited chances. You have a generational talent. You have a window. And if the front office believes that Sean McDermott has taken the team as far as he can, but not far enough, then big decisions have to be on the table. Josh Allen is not going anywhere. But the coaching staff around him, that's a different story. Let's break this down clearly. 9th season as Bills head coach. 7 playoff appearances, 7-7 playoff record. No Super Bowl appearances, multiple postseason collapses, and now a disappointing midseason meltdown. For the first time in his tenure, McDermott's future isn't a locked door. It's cracked open, and national media is peeking inside. So here's the question for all of you watching. Should the Bills take the risk and sign Christian Wilkins? Is he the missing piece to fix the run defense and push Buffalo toward a deep playoff run? And what about Gabe Davis? Do you want to see him activated this Sunday against the Buccaneers? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear the pulse of Bills Mafia on this one. Before you click away, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more exclusive Bills updates, and turn on notifications so you never miss a story that impacts this team. This is Buffalo football, this is Bills Mafia, and we stick together through every injury, every rumor, every comeback story, and every Sunday battle. Go Bills!